Welcome back, boys and some girls, to Deep Snow Delivery. This game is kind of like Death Stranding, sort of, but in a tank. Your inventory management is going to be a Tetris game, and all of this is going to be in the frozen mountains. So, what is this game? Basically, Deep Snow Delivery is a delivery game that is set up in a frozen world. There was some kind of a war, there was some kind of, I don't know, some kind of something happened and went down, the sun was never seen again, and now you basically deliver resources from point A to point B, and you're sort of building your own shortcuts and things like that. And this is why I said this is kind of similar to Death Stranding. While you're going from point A to point B, you can also collect resources and scrap that you can find thrown all over the map to sell. So how does the game play, like moment to moment? So basically the core loop of the game is you take a delivery mission from point A, some kind of a bunker, you drive to point B and you deliver the things over there. Now, before you get there, you need to organize your inventory. This is why I said Tetris-like thingy. Everything is like a small box or a big box, some sort of a box. And you need to place it so you can actually put everything in your storage and go to the other point. And while you go there, you're going to have to cross some mountains, ice maybe. You're going to have to cross something. And this is basically the core gameplay. This is what you're doing 90% of the time. Now, whenever you complete a delivery, you gain some amounts of money. And then you use that money to upgrade your tank. It can be your engine, it can be your storage, it can be more lights for the night. It can be a bunch of things. You upgrade and then you do another delivery. Controls for your tank feels very nice. They are very, very responsive, which makes the driving feel very nice. However, driving uphill can be very annoying. It can be very, very slow. Even with all the upgrades that are currently in the demo, it's very slow, which leads to using systems like the cruise control system in the game. And I just kind of got bored of it. I pressed the button and I fell off a cliff because I wasn't paying attention because I was so bored going uphill. At least in the demo, we have no enemies, no allies. You basically just do what I said, just navigate the terrain while you're picking up packages from point to point, maybe selling some resources. It's mostly like Tetris with Death Stranding. That's 90% of the game. Now, like the game should, it gives you some tools so your journeys can be easier, so you can plan things more carefully. You get a bunch of things. So you get things like the scrap locator, which basically, like it says, or scrap radar, I think it's called. You basically find everything on the ground in a circle around you, and you know how much it's worth in your area right now. You also have a device that measures the thickness of the ice, so you know where you can and can't cross, and also it adjusts to your own weight. So if you're empty, you don't have any resources on you, it's going to calculate things differently than if you're full of supplies in your storage. So you don't need to think about that, the game's already going to do it for you. And finally, you also get lights. You get a bunch of light for your storage, for your arm. You get a claw thingy that you can pick up shit with because you don't leave the tank, it's too cold. There was a bunch of things that you get to do, and you need light for everything because the night is extremely dark. Especially in the early night, so right when the sun goes down, and then early morning right before the sun comes up. Like in the middle, there's gonna be some light, you'll be fine, but in between like the early and the late, you're gonna be blind. From what I have seen, the demo has two types of terrain. You have snow, which is basically your normal driving, just WASD, nothing changes, you don't need to worry about anything, just drive normally the way you drive everywhere else. And then you have ice, which can break depending on your weight, and this is where the tool for ice thickness becomes very important to have. There is also some kind of a story here about like the war and bombs and shit like that, and the sun never came up. To me, it personally really didn't grab me. I didn't find it really interesting, so whenever the game comes out, I probably will play, but I don't think I'm gonna like pay attention to the story. It wasn't really interesting to me. There's one system that I really like, and that's the radio. The radio in this game is so cool. You have multiple upgrades for it. You start with the very basic radio, which has a very bad quality to it, very limited, but then you can buy upgrades to the radio, and then you can increase the sound, you can play with the things, and the most important feature, you actually can put MP3 files, whatever you want, into the music file of the game, and the songs or whatever file you put in there is going to actually be on the list inside of the game, which is so freaking cool. So you can do whatever playlist you want and play it over there. Oh, and you don't need to look for the file too hard. Whenever you're in the game, there's a button right near the radio that shows you, just click on it and it's immediately going to open up the thing that you need, like the file to drop the music into. So you don't even need to like be like a hacker man and look for the file. It's super easy. Now for the technical problems, there were barely any. There was like 2 things that actually bothered me at all. There's like a few times where items just launched into space out of nowhere. Just like from the source, just swung into space insanely fast. And I had one time where I tried to cross a loading screen thingy. I don't know what you call it, like a loading trigger, maybe I would call it. And then I just got rid of something over there. Then I couldn't pick it up ever again because it wouldn't let me go near that place to pick up the item. So the item was kind of lost forever. So it's just very minor things. Overall, 0 problems. FPS was great. Didn't crash, didn't freeze, didn't have any problems. Next, I wanted to talk about a few design problems I have with the game. Things that I don't think make sense, well, gameplay wise. Number 1 is going to be the uphill movement. Like I said, it's way too slow. It just makes traveling uphill very boring. It's like a loading screen for the hill. So you need to wait until the hill loads and then you can reach the top of the hill. That's basically what it feels like. There is nothing engaging about it. It's not like you need to pay attention to anything. You just hold the button and you wait for the tank to reach the top. There's really nothing interesting over there. It's just a waste of time in my opinion. It should be way faster. Oh, and it's the same when you upgrade the tank. So upgrade level 1 or upgrade level 3. I think you have 3 in the game right now for the engine. They don't make any difference. It doesn't feel anything different. You go the same speed uphill no matter what. Point number 2 is about the storage layout. It feels very awkward because it's not really square. It's kind of a, I think you call it a rectangle, right? I don't know what you call this thing. Basically, not all the sides are equal. That's what I'm trying to say. So you can't put down 4 different items on the bottom of the thing. And what happens is because it's not square, you're losing 20% of your storage at any time. Because every time you upgrade your storage, it only upgrades vertically. So you can put more things on the top. But side to side, it's still the same size no matter what. So there's only this always this 20% that you're going to lose and you can't put anything over there. And it's just bothered me so much that I can't put shit over there. Now you can glitch item into that spot and then quickly close the lid. If you have like a cover, you can quickly close it in. But then if you try to move before you close everything, things are just going to explode everywhere. So that's a warning, and I think it should be just right so we can put all 4 down there, or just make it thinner so it's only 2. Don't make it like 2.5, so I can't really put things in there. It's kind of frustrating. You can shove things in there. And one last thing, the environment feels kind of dead. There's nothing happens. There's the same kind of items everywhere. Everything looks the same. Nothing feels like alive. It feels kind of empty, like there's absolutely nothing in it. Maybe the full game is gonna have something different. I don't know. But currently the demo feels very dead. Like there's nothing there. I know that's the point, like a world that has nothing in it. But everything looks the same. Like all the POIs, point of interest, are very similar in how they look. Like there might be one more like metal thing over there and not over there, but besides that, I really like the game. So a little bit about the developers. It seems like this is their first game. I think it's a solo developer. Also, interestingly, unlike other indie games, this developer actually posts a lot of what he does on YouTube. There's very detailed posts about what he plans to do and what he's doing right now, or what he did, or why he did what he did. He's kind of unhinged, which is kind of funny if you want to watch his videos. They're sort of insane, but interesting if you love the project. The link to his channel is going to be in the description, so go check that out if you want more information about the game, more detailed information. From what I have seen, it seems like the project is going to be more on the smaller size. There's not going to be like a scope creep. There's not going to be something that's going to increase the game crazy, like a crap ton of features or anything like that. It seems to be a very thoughtful list of features that are going to be polished, that are going to connect well to one another, and he's probably going to ship the game as is. I think it's going to be on the smaller size, but I think it's going to be core features, interesting and good. So overall, I really enjoyed the demo. This was a very enjoyable demo. It was very relaxed, a lot of fun. No enemies that gonna fight you, no timers anywhere, just you at your own pace delivering things from point A to point B. Nobody's rushing you. Just perfect. The radio system, the cargo system make it just all the more better. Very enjoyable, a lot of fun. There's already many songs that I can think myself just throwing in this music folder and listening to on repeat. Now, like I said, world needs a little bit of healing. There should be like more in the world. It's pretty bland right now, no seasoning, like Gordon says. The driving uphill is very slow and boring. I don't feel like the point of making it a loading screen. I think it should be like faster, especially with the upgrades. And technically, the demo is completely fine, no problems, which is some sort of surprising, especially because I recently played a couple of demos that were pretty broken, both performance and like bug and things like that. So it's very refreshing to play something that is polished, has no problems, just plug and play, that's it. It does feel like the game is going toward a more Death Stranding route kind of a thing, especially because if you check the developer, you see he's working on bridges, he's working on a lot of things that kind of makes the game more like Death Stranding. I'm not against it. This is actually very interesting. Like, I like the idea. It's just something that is not for everyone, and you need to know that if you're gonna check the game. Now, the demo is on Steam right now. I don't know how longer it's gonna be. So if I were you, I would go check it. It's free, it's fun, it's kind of short, so you don't waste like a ton of time if you don't really enjoy what the game has to offer. So I say go for it. I think it's very interesting. But with that being said, I hope you judged what we did. Thank you. If you didn't, let me know why, so I can improve this. I keep safe and I see you next one. Bye bye.